Alright, hello everyone, I'm the man, and I, I have a lot to say about this movie. I recently rented it. I watched it twice. Probably gonna watch it again tonight before the rental expires. Um, because if you rent something on Google Play, if you don't watch it, it's 30 days. Which it says 4 weeks, but it's more than 4 weeks, trust me. I had one for like almost an entire month. Um, and if you watch it, it's 48 hours, which is actually kind of not true. It's actually 24 hours. Yeah, 48 hours, but in reality, it's actually 24 hours. So, oh well. But, enough about the rental. How rental process works on Google Play. I watched it on my big TV, which is over here. I'm not using dual monitors right now because it's kind of pointless at the moment because I'm doing a vlog and well, what am I going to be staring at, you know? So I watched on my big TV over there, and then last night, I watched 2 nights in a row. I watched it the night that I rented it, along with another movie I rented, which is called England Is Mine. It's about the Smiths. I love the Smiths. They're a really good band. And I watched it first. And then I watched England Is Mine. And then, by the way, we're talking about a ghost story, which the image should be right here, hopefully. And I watched it that night, and it stuck with me, and I watched it again last night as of recording this. You'll probably be seeing this the day after I record this. And I was watching it, and it stuck with me, and now, I had a birthday not too long ago. It was the 7th. And yes, a lot of the stuff does have to do with the movie. Also, I may rant a bit. Also, spoilers. I may accidentally spoil some stuff. So, if you don't want spoilers, then do not watch any further. Then you might, because I might accidentally spoil something. But if you have already watched it, I would like to know what you thought about it. And I had a really good birthday, and I bought a bunch of movies on DVD, and I really wish I watched it before I bought those because I had some money left, and instead of getting that, which I wish I did, I got me another Jandek. This isn't it. This is another one. This is the first one. Instead, I got me another Jandek live album or DVD. Which, you know, I like Jandek, but I kind of wish I got this movie instead on Blu-ray, because the Blu-ray is extremely cheap. $10 on Amazon, not bad. But after watching it, I felt the need to give it a review. I'm not gonna do, I'm gonna give this a 10. Because that's not how my reviews work. I give my thoughts, and I tell you how I feel, how it made me feel, and what I took away from it. And I've noticed here recently that the reviews that I've done so far have all been stuff that has either meant something to me or that no one has reviewed yet. Which there's plenty of reviews on this, obviously, but this definitely means something to me. And watching it twice, I feel like I should watch it again. So the whole movie is about a ghost, hence a ghost story. This isn't a horror movie. No, not even close. There is some horror elements at a certain part of the movie, but it's not horror whatsoever. It's probably one of the most emotional movies I've ever seen. Did I cry? No. I tend to keep my feelings. What the hell's up with my hair? Keep my feelings deep inside. No matter how sad something is. I get emotional, but I keep it inside. But if I didn't, I probably would have cried throughout the entire movie. I really would, not gonna lie. Because this is probably one of the most saddest, depressing movies I've seen in a very long time. I've seen some very... Holy crap, this movie... I've seen some of those... I've seen movies where it's like, holy crap, this is too much, or that it's like an emotional roller coaster going up and down, up and down, up and down constantly throughout it. Or watching something scary to where it's, I cannot watch this. I feel like I'm going to have a panic attack, or I watched it all the way through and I bear through it, but I will never ever watch it again because of how horrifying it is and how scary it is. I've seen some really scary movies throughout my time that have left me to where it's like, I cannot watch this. I cannot watch this again. This is too much. So, this movie is so emotional. You can feel the emotion in it. If you're very emotionally vulnerable and you cry easily, this is going to be one of those movies. Trust me. I've seen some sad movies, but this is something else. I don't know what it is about it, but it sticks with you. And the song that plays in the trailer, which also plays in the movie itself, I get overwhelmed. I have to say, I would usually bash hard and hate extremely harshly on songs like those, in the singing voice and the style. It's one of those songs that I would bash and hate on very, very cruelly and harshly. But I didn't. Despite the horrible singer and the decent beat, it stuck with me. Just like the movie. And I have to say that this made me less afraid of death. My biggest fear isn't dogs, isn't spiders, it's death itself. And this movie made me actually less afraid of death. Just the way it is, just the way it presented itself. The ghost, seeing through the ghost's eyes and seeing what he sees, and the way things work in his world now. The infamous pie eating scene that drags on for an extremely long time. At least it feels like it. But I actually timed it. It doesn't last that long. That was pretty emotional. One thing that I realized after watching it a second time, none of the characters have names. None of the characters have names. At least not from what I can remember, but I'm pretty sure no names were ever mentioned pretty much to any character or any person that shows up in the movie. No character has a name. Except for the Spanish family that moves into the house. But the way it is that the ghost, which is the girl's husband, he dies, and then you follow him as a ghost going through time. And yes, the word on the poster of the movie or on the DVD box art is true. It is all about time. And not just time travel, but time itself, what you do with it, how you make time for things, what you do, how much time do you have, how little time do you have, because none of us know when we're really gonna die. It could be like him, a car crash, which I know it's just nitpicking right now what I'm about to say, but I really don't like the way he died. I don't have nothing against like, oh, it's so horrible, a car crash. No, it's if you look, it shows where it took place. It's literally like right outside his house on a two-way road. How does that happen? Like, how does that happen? And what's this may sound kind of strange, but despite the ghost having like zero facial expression, like whatsoever, you still feel it. The sadness, the anger. Same with the pie eating scene. You could feel the anger in her. The way she stabs the pie with her fork very aggressively. You can feel that. You feel that she is extremely upset and extremely angry. But it is probably one of the best modern movies. Well, it came out in 2017, so I guess it's not that modern. But it's probably one of the best A24 movies I've seen since Uncut Gems. Now, I haven't seen all A24 films, but I've seen a lot of them. And they're all good from what I've seen. I have not seen The Green Knight or Hereditary. I think there's another one that I really want to see and I can't remember. But I've seen The Witch, Uncut Gems, The Lighthouse, Midsummer, and now A Ghost Story. If I had to rank them, Ghost Story will now be on top and Uncut Gems will be second. Uncut Gems was number one until I saw this. And do I recommend this movie? Yes. Highly recommend this movie. This is probably one of the greatest, most emotional movies I have seen in a very long time. The way the aspect ratio is perfect. You kind of forget how enclosed it is. The more you cannot take your eyes off of this. You really can. And it really does make you think, and it really does stick with you. Also, I kind of have a different, sort of viewpoint on ghosts themselves. Am I saying that all ghosts are gonna look like that? No, I've seen what ghosts really do look like. I've had many paranormal encounters, and I see them in a bit of a different way now, because especially the scene with the Spanish family, whenever the ghost knocks over the picture frame, they all look, and obviously they don't see him, but then he goes and opens up the cabinets and lifts up the glass of milk, and it goes between what they see and what he sees, and it shows that maybe the poltergeists that are in your home aren't there to actually hurt you. Maybe they really don't mean to cause you harm. They just don't want you in their house, because that's their house, not yours. You may have bought it, you may have renovated it, but it's still their house. and they will be remaining there for as long as they want. And I sort of see that as the poltergeists that you normally see. I'm not saying all poltergeists are not out there to hurt you. Some are. But I think a good amount of the poltergeists that are in homes or in your home, if you have any ghosts in your house, I think they just really don't want you there. Like, they don't want to hurt you. They just don't want you there, because that's their house, and they don't want you away because they want you away. But the guy who becomes the ghost, he's very attached to the house, and you can kind of see why he sticks there forever. Or, well, not forever, because, well, if you've seen it, you know how it ends. But why he sticks there why he goes back and why he stays there for quite a while throughout time. Of course, time goes faster for him than it does for us. And I wanted to make there's this one quote from Zach Bagans that he said on one of the episodes of Ghost Adventures, and that's, "It may be night for us, but it could be day for them." And that can be very true. It might be daytime for them, but it's night for us. So time works differently with spirits, and that kind of emphasizes it in this movie where it's faster. Seasons go faster. Things change. Every time he looks around the corner, it changes. 1 minute there's somebody here, next minute it's abandoned, and then there's people, and then there's more people, and it's just, it just goes and goes and goes and goes, and it changes. And then the house gets torn down, which they really did tear down that house, by the way. It really was abandoned. But I think having all of those people come and go inside the house really not only shows what it's, shows that, people are going to come and go in this, in houses. You could die and your house could be sold, and people are going to come and go. They're going to live there. They're going to leave. And I think that really sets up not only the lore of the movie, but lore of the house itself. Not the real house, but the house that's portrayed in the movie. I think the reason why nobody really bought it anymore is because it was haunted. And it was. It was haunted. He haunted the house, and that's why the Spanish family moved out. That's probably why the huge people that had that party moved out, and then nobody bought it, so it just left abandoned, and they tore it down. So, and getting to see the house actually be torn down is actually really, really, really cool. I'm glad they got permission to use it, got permission to actually film that, because it really sets the mood. And then having, a big office building be built around it, stuff like that really does happen. Long ago, it could have been farmland on what you see, like big skyscrapers or something. That could have been, just a small little house or a farmland. And now it's this big skyscraper office building, and then there's big cities around it, and it's a huge city around it. So it really shows that this stuff, this stuff really does happen. You may not think it, you may not realize it, but this stuff really does happen. Just like the pioneer scene, seeing the westerns, him going back in time and seeing the old westerners, and then them being shot down by the Indians, and then their corpses are still there, but they're just deep in the ground. They're part of the ground now, and that really shows that there's a lot of that also around, especially like even in big cities. You may not think it, but they're there. You may not can see them anymore, but they're there. and it's not a hard movie to understand. You really will catch on very quickly. It's not one of those really weird movies where it's like, what is going on? What's happening? Oh, this is weird. This is strange. What's happening? It's not one of those. It's actually quite easy to understand and stuff like that. But I really need to write down what I have to say about these things, because I had a whole thing that I wanted to say last night as I was thinking about this, but I forgot it. But I did say quite a few of what I wanted to say originally, but I think this is it. I think this is amazing. I really like it. So I highly recommend it. I highly recommend that you watch it. It is very unique. It is a very great story, great storytelling. Also, having the ghost talk to the other ghost across the street was awesome. Or next door, the ghost next door. And not having them actually speak but use subtitles, I think that was really good, because it also adds some emotion there, and that they talk, telepathically. Now, I'm guessing the neighbor was probably a old lady, because she said she was waiting for someone, but she doesn't remember who that was. And hell, she may not even know that she's dead. I think he does, though, because he knows that he was in a car crash. How can you not know that? But I think he does know that he's a ghost, that he's dead. That's pretty obvious from the poltergeist scene. And then but the ghost across the street, I really don't know. Or next door, I think she may have, maybe she doesn't know. I think she may have had Alzheimer's, because she doesn't remember who she's waiting for. She knows she's waiting for someone, but she doesn't know who. So, or she can't remember who that is. And then those scenes are the scenes with both of the ghosts are pretty sad, because the neighbor is still waiting. It's like, who's there? And then it's just me. And then it's like, oh, I thought, never mind. And that was pretty sad. And then when the house got destroyed, they were both there. Both of their houses were destroyed. And then she just goes, I guess they're not coming. And then she drops down, and I guess she moved on. I really don't know. The main character, the ghost, I think he had like 2 opportunities to move to the other side. One was in the hospital, with the scene where the light was coming through the wall, and the big cutout of the wall, and then there was light. A lot of people may say that, oh no, that was just something else, but I think it really was the supposed light that you see whenever you die. But I guess he just waited too long and it closed, or he just didn't know what it was, so he didn't really bother. So I guess he waited too long and he couldn't go. That was like his somewhat last chance. And that kind of begs a question that I've been contemplating on for a really long time: is what happens if you don't go towards the light? What happens if you just stay there? What if you just stand there and you just don't go towards it? What happens? Does it go away? Are you going to be stuck there forever if you don't go? What happens if you go backwards? What's around you? Are there other options? What's going to happen if you just stay there? And just don't go towards it. You just stay there. You stare at it and you contemplate on going, or you just sit there in the darkness. Everyone says that's, it's all dark around you, and then there's one light. Do you just sit there and just stare at it? What happens? And I think that sort of plays on that because he didn't go into the wall of light. He just sort of just stood there and looked at it, and then it closed. And then the second opportunity he had was the door opening. But instead of getting up and going outside, he read the note, and then just like the neighbor goes, she drops down and he's gone. So I don't know if he moved on or what. I mean, I really don't know. And that's one of the that's what I like about A24 in general, is that none of their movies have room for sequels. None of them. Either the main character dies, or there just isn't enough story to tell for a sequel. I mean, the story was told. Every single bit of it, every detail, it was all told. One thing I do recommend is that if you watch this on like a TV or something, like on a big screen on your TV, I do recommend watching it a second time on a smaller device with headphones on, because there is some audio cues you may miss. Depends on how good your speakers are for your TV, or if you have any really good surround sound speakers and they're turned up. But I do recommend watching it a second time on maybe like an iPad or something like I did, and watch it with headphones, because there is audio cues. There's a lot of audio going on, audio things you may have missed. So I do recommend that you watch it a second time on a smaller device with headphones, because there's audio cues that you may miss. So yeah, I highly recommend it. It is amazing. I love it. I loved it. It's definitely up there now with my favorite movies ever. I kind of wish I did save my Amazon money so I could have gotten this on Blu-ray and not only add it to my collection, but also just watch it whenever I want, because I rented it. I didn't buy it, I rented it, so I guess I'll try and get some money and buy it again. Or buy it, not buy it again, because it was good. So hope everyone enjoyed this review. Let me know down in the comments of what you thought of A Ghost Story, if you've watched it or if you're going to watch it, because I highly recommend it. It definitely sticks with you. It really does, and it makes you think. So, I am the man, and goodbye.